Welcome to One Way to Find Out, official podcast of Tinsley Performance. I'm your host, Cal Tinsley. Here we sit down with athletes, coaches, and leaders to discover what shaped them, what challenged them, and what ultimately made them who they are today. Because excellence is not found overnight. It's developed through the process, and there's only one way to find out. All right, next up, we have two-sport athlete Connor Greb. He's a high school junior at Spain Park going into his senior year at this point of our podcast. He's a two-sport athlete. He's football, baseball. He's committed to Auburn University to go play some baseball. This past year, he was Shelby County Hitter of the Year. He was Sports Week All-Star, first team All-State, had 6 bombs, over 390 batting average, 22 stolen bases. Again, went off in football and baseball this year. We talk a little bit in this podcast about his sprint numbers and what he's done to get those in the right direction. Speed has been the biggest thing for him. Training with us this year, talked about remote schooling, talked about nutrition, the mental side of sport and life, getting hit in the face at the state right before the state championship game, which is wild. What it looks like to be a two-sport athlete and all the in-betweens of what it looks like to be a two-sport guy committing out of his sophomore year, going into Auburn, and what life looks like for Connor Greb. Next up, please welcome Connor Greb. Connor, thanks for being on, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Come on, dude. It's I'm trying to get our guys who are incredible workers, and the work ethic is like uncanny, but also your performance on the field has been awesome on the gridiron and on the baseball field. So tell the listeners about like just who you are, what makes you you. We talked a little bit before we started filming here about your background of bunch of dad, uncle, granddad, kind of heritage of playing at a high level. What does that look like? How that shaped you and all that?
I go to Spain Park. I've been playing baseball my whole life. Just started picking up football in middle school. So yeah, that was kind of fun. So really got to kind of learn how to do that. Never played it before, so it was like a new sport I could really kind of dive into. I've always played baseball, so it was a little bit different.
Why? Like what?
Everybody kind of played it, and I, watched it on TV. It looks pretty fun, so I decided to play. Kind of at first, the practices were super hard, and, a lot of conditioning, a lot of working out, and it was tough, but at the end of the day, like, Friday night football games are some of the best times you can have, I think, in your whole life. Like,
my experience of Friday night football games is painting up and running out in the field with a flag.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on the field. They called me clack clack. Because my shoulder pads were too big, and I was 145 pounds soaking wet graduating high school. Some of them are like, shoulder pads too big, can't catch a ball above my shoulders because my shoulder pads were too big. Yeah. And then my ending of my football career was ball spot. So when I realized I was spotting the ball out there for first team, I was like, let's hang this up and try the baseball route.
So football is definitely kind of a fun thing that I've really gotten into, really enjoyed it the past couple of years. So it's been super awesome to kind of do something different other than baseball. And then baseball, I've been taking fly balls, taking ground balls since I was 4 or 5 years old. Kind of really always loved it, always super competitive at it. Just wanted to be kind of the best player I can be, and really I loved going out and hitting my grandpa more than I did playing the game, like just kind of working and getting better. And just that's really kind of why I started playing and kind of got to where I am now. So
come on, man. Yeah. So he's two-sport athlete right now. Went off last year against Saraland, 2 TDs, over 180 yards. Tell me about what that feels like. I know you talked about running out on the field on Friday nights, but like compare that to the baseball feel of, you're playing in state champ. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. State championship game this year. So we made it to the highest level in the state in baseball. So like, give me a comparison of both of those.
So kind of football, like I kind of view it as like it's like it's kind of like your family. Like I kind of play for my running backs. I play for my line. I play for my receivers. Like I'm trying to do everything I can to make them successful. And there's nothing like going out and watching one of your best friends go score a touchdown and go and celebrate them with them in the end zone. Like it's kind of an awesome feeling. And going down there, we had lost to Saraland the previous year, and I was kind of in my head like, I'm going to give it, everything I got this game. Like, this is a huge game. we went down early, and then Brock, great quarterback going to Clemson, and he kind of took over the game. We went down one drive, had a 7-yard touchdown, got a stop, and then next drive again, went down and caught like a 50-yard catch, and then next play caught a 30-yard touchdown, just right back in the game, just 14-14, just like that. Kind of had 170 yards in about probably 4 minutes.
3 plays, literally back to back.
I think it was 4 catches, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns in about 3 minutes, just like that.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, really no better feeling than that, kind of getting to celebrate with the guys and just kind of really, I think we had a lot of hope going to that game. We really thought we could win, so super fun. And then on the baseball side, obviously, I've been thinking about playing a state championship with my friends since staying middle school. We've all been playing together for forever. So, we always knew we were going to have a good team. So, kind of watching that all play out, how it did was super awesome. I've been thinking about it my whole life, honestly. It's been super sick.
So, with talking about playing with those guys your whole life, did y'all do travel together?
Yep.
Or was it did you stay in the park?
We had a little JAG Elite team. It was like a summer ball team, but it was a school team. All of us went to Spain Park.
Okay.
We played in all these summer tournaments. We'd go beat some good teams, the little school ball team. So it was kind of nice. We always knew we were gonna be pretty good. We would go play these big travel teams and we'd smoke them. So we knew we had something good going on.
Come on. That's awesome. I'm trying to get as much input as I can. My kids are about to start into that route, figuring out when you started with the travel ball and how long you stayed in park ball. So not starting football until your middle school years.
Yeah.
What position did you start off playing?
So
I know you're at tight end now.
I tried out for quarterback.
Okay, baseball guy.
Yep.
Quarterback.
Could throw the ball a
sense.
bit. Not that good at it. It's very different. So I decided to play like a tight end fullback, and then middle school I played linebacker too. So I could play both sides, kind of do whatever. So me and other guy would play both sides. We would never come off the field. So that was super awesome. Then high school, I actually thought I was going to be the linebacker until probably 2 weeks before the season, our freshman coach decided to put me at tight end, put the other guy at linebacker, and it kind of just stayed there.
Stuck with it.
Yep, stuck with it. So, yeah.
Come on. So you talk about the 3-touchdown game. You talk about the baseball side of it. With the training that you're doing right now, and so you're not going to school until what time?
Well,
till practice?
Yeah, till practice, yeah. I didn't go to school. Besides take tests and all that stuff, exams and all that, I didn't go until 2:50.
So this is a new thing-ish, from what I've understood, and it feels like a lot more student athletes are doing this, and we're getting a lot of questions from parents. So, what's that curriculum look like? Are you online through Spain Park?
Yes. So it's called Access. There's a bunch of different programs, but the one I do is Access. It's through Spain Park, so I technically go to Spain Park, but it's all online, and then you have an instructor who kind of makes sure you're doing all your work, you're on pace,
Yep.
And then you go in to take the test in person.
So you are a Spain Park student athlete
Yep.
through and through, and then you're able to come over here and train in the morning. So
Yep.
I know I have my opinion on why that would be beneficial, but from your side, what's the main perk about being able to get over here and train every day at 9 o'clock, spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, the recovery modalities and recovery suite that we have and all that you have access to throughout your football season, and what that meant to you from a recovery standpoint, and also getting after it in the weight room all the way through the baseball season and the bumps and bruises that happen along the road. So why is that beneficial from a morning, just your daily routine, and also just the experience of being able to be next to these pro guys as they're coming in and train?
Yeah, so kind of the biggest reason we started doing the online schooling was because you go to school, you go to practice, and by the time all that's over, it's 6:30, 7 o'clock. You still got to eat dinner, you still got to shower. I shouldn't have much time to do the things that I want to do that I think could make me a better player. And so we decided to do it, and then kind of come over here. And it's really helped me. I've put on 20 pounds, cut down my speed times by a lot. Got to go in the sauna, cold tub every day, keep myself healthy. So it's kind of been extremely helpful, especially during football season, when you're working out every day, practicing every day, kind of have that cold tub sauna, all that sort of recovery stuff to really stay in good shape and stay healthy. And another big reason I decided to come here was I've had some previous injuries in the past, broke my hand, broke my wrist 2 years in a row playing football, and kind of one of the big reasons I decided to come here is I want want to come get big, come get fast, but I want to keep my body in shape, keep my body healthy, so that way I don't have to deal with those injuries.
And that's one of those things that like people don't realize until you go through that. Whether it's a parent listening to this or whether it's an athlete, it's like you don't understand the mental side of like being injured and not being able to play. Because I mean, you're a stud athlete. You're probably going to be starting football or baseball, and then you're sitting out, or you just have a club on your wrist or whatever the injury is. And so it's not necessarily the first like athlete or parent facing conversation that we have is like, well, we're going to reduce injuries, but like it's obviously a huge deal, and it's why we program the way we do to mitigate the risk of injury and then be able to work around things. So instead of you being hurt and can't do anything in the weight room, it's like we can still train 95% of your body no matter what the injury is. And then so like just a few numbers from you, like your 10-yard sprint was above a 1.60. We've got that down to an average of like a 1.53 to 1.52, and then we might have hit, whether the laser was right or not, we might have hit something a little sub 1.5, which is really, really elite. Like our best athletes are sitting like 1.46 to 1.49, and you've touched that, and your average is right at that 1.50, which is an incredible 10-yard split. So it's like, even from the football side, like 180 yards in a game, it's like, all right, we got to match that next year because we're up 20 pounds. We're faster. Your max speed went from, it was either high 18s or right at 19, and now we've hit 20 miles an hour. So we've signed the 20 mile an hour sign out there. So from a speed perspective, that's what we saw when you came in, did your evaluation. Like you got a great frame, you move well, you're strong, but like the first 10 yards was not that great. So like tell me how that's played into football and your baseball side of things. I mean, we had, what is this, 22 stolen bags this year, so an elite number of stolen bases. I mean, 6 home runs. We didn't talk about doubles or anything like that, but like it's not just staying on the field, which is probably the number one thing because you can't produce if you're not on the field. But then the speed aspect and the speed and power. I mean, obviously, it's crazy to put on 20 pounds and then drop a tenth of a second in a 10-yard sprint.
Yeah, so, we've had probably 15 different conversations about how we can kind of reduce that 10-yard split time. I've probably tried every trick in the book, and kind of, what works for me is, kind of Cal Big is on heel strike. It's like that heel really punching in the ground and really working on that with Grant and Mason outside has, been extremely beneficial to both football, getting off the ball quick, stealing bases in baseball, all that type of stuff. So that's been super helpful. And then in the weight room, like, some days you're trying to lift weight as heavy, like as hard, like as heavy as you can, and then some days you're working on power or like moving it fast. So like kind of having both those type of things has really been extremely helpful in baseball and football. So
yeah, I think that's a huge thing, and a lot of athletes that come over, we got the velocity sensors on the bar, we got sprint sensors, all this, everything's objectified. It almost feels like we're not getting after it because we're not putting a ton of weight on the bar all the time and moving it slow, but moving it heavy. So now, like, just seeing the mass go up, seeing the speed drop because that's a better time, but like, what is that, from your mindset coming in, has anything shifted, or like what's new that you didn't really understand was that beneficial, going from like putting the tether on the barbell and saying, hey, we're working at 0.85, which is like our power zone for our lower body lifts, 0.85 meters per second. So you're like, hey, I only have 185, 225, maybe 250 on the bar, which is not a max, but it's like I'm lifting as fast as I possibly can. And then seeing that transfer, I'm sure that there was like a little learning curve for you. Like, I don't know if this is really going to work. And then like seeing it pay off.
So kind of before I came here, I kind of, whenever I would work out, I would kind of work out like a bodybuilder. That's kind of how they call it. Like you're really, working out, try to have as heavy as possible, not really focusing on moving it quick. And then when I came here and really tried to, move the weight as fast and as explosive as I can, it really worked those fast twitch muscles, and really saw, extreme gains like in with my strength, my size, and my speed. Like, it's been extremely helpful, and I never really knew like that's how you could work out like that. I've always just thought, you put as much weight as you can and try to move it. Like, never really focus on, really moving it quick and fast and all that type of stuff. So,
and that's where I did the same. I mean, I was chest tries, back buys, like leg day. Every once in a while, we skip leg day. I mean, beach body, like you kind of ebb and flow between those. And then looking at it from our side, it's like there's certain windows where you can definitely see benefit from going to Crunch Fitness or going to Planet Fitness and like getting in front of the mirror and like getting after it, getting swole. But like the speed didn't show up.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, well, what does that mean if you're hitter of the year for Shelby County and you're all-state, you're all-star, first team all-state, and then you're already at the top of somebody's list, but then your 60 drops from a 6'7" to a 6'5".
Yeah.
Like it kind of becomes a money situation also because there's NIL, there's draft eligibility, there's like the possibility for you to get ultimately paid, whether that's paid meaning like full ride scholarship and all that's changing. But it's just a really big deal. And I think that a lot of folks don't understand the value and the timing of like, hey, at 12 years old, we can be working on that at some capacity. At 14, 16, puberty's starting to hit. Like we have some testosterone rolling through our body to groove good patterns, but also enforce like speed.
Yeah.
Instead of like, when I was growing up, it's just, hey, run fast, roll on your toes, like be quick. Well, actually both of those are not right because I don't really want to be on my toes and I don't want to be quick off the gate because I want to be strong and explosive.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've talked about this, like 6.5 steps to get 10 yards. Should be 4 steps to get 5 yards. Should be 19 to 21 steps to run 40 yards. Like all those things, it's a power equation. So it's been fun to be able to like, for you to be over during that morning hour and before our pros got here or before when they left and went to the spring training, it's like we have a lot of quality time to work on that.
Yeah.
That sprint mechanic side of things.
Yeah, we've definitely spent a ton of time kind of working on that, and Tyler Tolbert really kind of gave me a bunch of tips and tricks, kind of learning it faster. So that was awesome, kind of learning from those guys, learning from the best, like where I want to be. So that was really fun and beneficial, I think, for me, kind of just learning from guys like that who really spent time into trying to help me become the player that I am. So it's been awesome, yeah.
Come on. So looking back at the last year, what has changed the most? We talk about training athletes physically, mentally, and spiritually at Tinsley Performance. Like what have you seen develop the most in you in a positive direction?
So I think, obviously, the physical side, I've gained 20 pounds. Obviously, we talked about dropping the speed. So, I mean, that's obviously huge. And then I think, the mental side, I kind of understand, what it takes to like come in here every day, have the right mindset to come here and try to put in work and get better. And then, maybe if I go play a game and it doesn't go my way, like understanding like it's part of the process, like you're going to have games that, some days you just don't have it. And kind of, before I was not like that. I would get all, pissed at myself for not playing the way I wanted to, and kind of just really having a better mental side of the game and just really understanding that. And then spiritually, like kind of understanding like everything happens for a reason. Like it's God's plan. We're about to talk about, what got hit in the eye. Like, I mean, it's crazy. It sucks, but
go ahead and roll into it.
All right, we'll roll into it. So in the state championship game, we were down 1 in the series. So last day playing with, this team, and in the warm-ups just wasn't paying attention. Who knows what I was doing? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And I was looking at center field, and then all of a sudden, just ball comes smacks right in the eye.
So you are taking in and out.
Yep, in and out.
You're at third.
I'm at third.
You're looking towards center field.
Looking towards center field. Ball comes from second base. Just like every in and out we done, for some reason it didn't click in my head. I couldn't tell you. And get hit in the eye. Kind of walked it off a little bit. Realized it was really swollen shut. I tried to take a ground ball in and out. Missed the ball
Completely whiffed.
Yep, whiffed the ball by probably 2 feet. And that's when it kind of started to set in, like, I don't know if I'm able to play. Kind of went in the dugout, was extremely upset about it. We worked with the trainers, we scraped it down, taped it open.
You're taping your eye open to see if you can use it.
So yeah, it was completely swollen shut. I couldn't open it myself, so we swelled it, like the boxers do, you swell it. And then scraped it, and then we taped it open. But by the time all that happened, the game had already started, and I mean, it was pretty blurry. I probably wouldn't have been able to do much out there in the first place. And it sucks because I've been thinking about it for a while. Definitely, a big day for me. Like I've been thinking about this since 7th grade, playing with those guys, and kind of just really understanding that. I mean, at first, I was pissed. It sucks. There's really nothing to think about, but it's God's plan. Like it's gonna all work out. Like in the day, like there's more important things, and everything happens for a reason. So that's kind of.
So what ultimately did you learn from that? Like did you sit out any games this year?
No.
So you're starting third baseman every game.
Yep.
Started every game in football.
Yep.
You're sitting out on like the game of the year. How do you transition from like being pissed off to like encouraging your teammates or like being some voice of reason or like kind of maybe picking up pitches? Like how does that?
So yeah, I was kind of just chilling in the dugouts, ice my eye, and kind of really trying to support my guys. You know, we had, our pitcher was absolutely dealing, just kind of encouraging him, like tell him stay locked in, like go get after it, and kind of helping, you know, talking to the hitters, like, you know, picking up on some pitches, like what's he throwing, like if he's throwing curveball here, probably can come fastball. Like their guy was flipping over curveballs first second pitch we were taking. I was like go get after, like I mean, if he's gonna flip that over because you don't think you're swinging, like go hammer it, like stuff like that. So kind of just different from not being able to play and trying to just do whatever I can to, I guess, help out the team. So it's big difference, yeah.
Goodness, man.
Yeah.
Gosh, who would have thought? You're sitting there at third base. You were on the base, like you were in the looking at center field.
Looking at center field.
Smoked in the eye.
Yeah.
Swole up.
Sucks.
Gosh.
Another way to describe it, other than it just sucks.
Yeah. So the mental side, you talk about that, and I know that I've seen you come in and you're bumping shoulders with like a Tyler Tolbert, who's a utility guy in Major League Baseball right now with the Royals, a Gunnar Henderson, like elite all-world shortstop for the Orioles. Like they're both in here. Obviously, there's pitchers and there's other position players. Like what have you learned from them, if anything? Did you learn from like a conversation or just like watching those guys and how they conducted themselves and how this was like a part of their business and that they're running? I know that I've seen you strategically just kind of map out your day, and you come in and you're a consistent guy. Every time you come in and train, you're going to give your best effort, sometimes to the point where you have to kind of back you off because it's like game day or something different, or you have something nagging you. It's like, hey, let's let that die down for a few days or whatever. What have you learned from the mental side, whether that's a nugget of like how to approach like an actual at-bat or certain pitchers, or how to handle yourself prior to or post a game, how to watch things, like what, maybe some specifics of that, like the mental side.
I mean, kind of just watching them go about how they come in here every day and work. Like I think it's kind of a big thing I learned from, you know, all of them. They all come in here, they get after it every morning, like they're super consistent here every day they're ready to put in work. So kind of following after that. And then I learned some stuff with, you know, Tyler Tolbert about kind of running and getting good jumps off pitchers and how to kind of do that. And really, like, you know, sometimes people think about, you know, like the catcher's pop time or whatever, you know, and that's something to think about. But then also, like, what about the pitcher's, you know, move to the plate? Like, if he's like a long guy, like you're gonna have more time. So kind of learning that from him. And then just watching, like, you know, we went out to Helena one day and watched them do the live at bats and kind of just watching them, like, you know, go through that, like what pitches they're swinging at, like what their approach is, like when they're doing stuff like that. So that was kind of all super cool and very insightful.
Is there any specific things that you've taken and you've like, this is a practical application of what I learned from like the conversation you had with Tolbert maybe? Yeah. Is there anything that you do on the base pass differently now, or any approach that you have at the plate that's different?
So kind of approach-wise, like, you know, you watch guys like Colton Ledbetter, Gunnar Henderson, like they're some of the best hitters I've ever seen. Like they know what they're doing, and kind of just watching them hit, like, I mean, you know, mentally, like you watch Gunnar, like one day maybe he'll go 4 homers, like you watch him in the game, and then maybe he'll go for an 0-for-15 stretch. Kind of just watching him, like how he conducts himself and like hold himself to like the standard of like, you know, I'm a good player, like I got to know that, and maybe some days I'm not going to have it. It's really just the mental side of like kind of understanding that it's baseball, like it's a hard game, it's a game of failure, and kind of understanding that, you know, every game's not going to be your game. So that's really kind of what I picked up from them.
One of the things I picked up, I was having a conversation with him this past year, and Gunnar was saying, like, I was asking how he's dealt with adversity. I don't know how the conversation steered that direction, but he was just like, I mean, it's baseball. Like, it's going to average out if I'm 0-for-15, like you mentioned, 0-for-20, whatever. I'm probably right around the corner from having a 7-for-12 stretch or like whatever. Like I'm liable to get hot because that's just how the game works. I was not able to ever really grasp that concept as a player. I mean, I'm pissed off at myself. I'm hitting the steering wheel when I get back in the car, kind of thing, thinking I've let other people down or whatever. Like just the whole surrounding situation of like family or relatives or friends. They were at the game. I did this, or I didn't get the bunt down, or I didn't get a hit in this situation. It's fun to be able to see that exude pretty much through their personality of guys that have gotten to that level of how they brush things off really quick. Because I've always heard, like, at the high school level, it could take a week or so to make adjustments, or possibly even more. At the college level, elite college level, it's like, okay, it might take a day.
Yeah.
Like, you have a bad day, then you kind of make an adjustment. And then, like, at the pro level, it's like per pitch.
Yeah.
And being able to take that mindset and figuring out a way to do that for you personally on and off the field. Like, not carrying baggage into a game because you can't perform that way.
Yeah.
But also being able to brush off good games or bad games and go to the next at bat because it's fresh. Every pitch has a life of its own.
Yeah.
So you got hit in the face. We talked about the football side. We talked about the baseball side. Talked about the adversity. We talked about the mental side of it. But you also do a great job. Like, there's 20 pounds that has been gained over less than a year is pretty substantial. Doing it the right way. Like, talk about your nutrition habits and what you've changed in order to make that work.
So kind of, I'm big in the nutrition stuff. Like, it's kind of something I actually like enjoy learning about. Like, I think it's pretty cool, like what you put in your body, like how it affects you. So recently, started when I came here, I started meal prepping. So I would make ground beef, egg, rice meals kind of every day. I'd have it 4 or 5 times a week, and like kind of understanding, like, when they're 100%, like, you're gonna go eat out, like you're gonna go eat out with your friends, like it's gonna happen. But really having like a strong foundation of like what you're putting in your body, getting enough protein, getting enough carbs, really fuel your body has been huge for me. Like, I think it's really been like why I've been so successful this year and why I've been so successful in gaining weight. So kind of, I think really for young people, like like guys in middle school and high school, like really tapping into like understanding what you're eating and how it's going to affect your body it's crazy. Like, it's super, super beneficial. And I think not many people really look into that type of stuff. So I think it's something that, people should really look into.
Are there things like you won't eat? Like, you're like, I'm staying away from that.
Well, crumble cookie, I wouldn't get near that crap. But like, I mean, obviously you're gonna go eat some cake and it's your birthday. Like, you're gonna go out to dinner. Like, that's gonna happen. But I like to think of like a 80-20. 80% of the time, you're eating at the house, you're eating home cooked meals, like you're doing all that, and then every once in a while you want to go to Chipotle and get a Chipotle bowl. Like, go do it. But like, if you don't have any foundation, like, you don't know what you're putting in your body. You don't know, like, if one day you have 20 or 2,000 calories and one day you have 5,000 calories, like, you have no consistency. You have no clue, like if you're really making progress in the gym, because you don't know what you're putting in your body. And if you're not getting enough protein in, like, you're never gonna see any real results kind of in the weight room if you're not eating correctly. So I think it's super beneficial.
You're not gonna get the results you deserve.
Yeah.
And that's where the nutrition, and I'm not a nutritionist, dietitian by any stretch, but we've been around it long enough. The guys or girls that really just dive into the nutrition side get the results like you've been able to see. And it's hard to, everybody's trying to gain weight. They're like, oh, I eat food all the time. Like, not really.
Yeah.
Like, have you meal prepped for like months on end? Have you, because you're doing that now. So it's like, until you put in that work and to set a foundation and figure out what your baseline is and what you actually need in order to recover, because exercise is tearing down your muscles.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally breaking your muscle fibers down. We need protein, we need fuel to recover those muscles. Hopefully they get bigger and stronger every single time they go back and recover. And then you keep doing that. So it's a constant breaking down, constant building. But if we don't fuel our body, which the way you have, it's the missing link, I feel like, in 90% of exercise programs with most of the athletes that we see.
Yeah.
We're seeing that right now. Like, we're having a body weight input on Monday, Friday. Every Monday, every Friday. If you're in that weight gain category, 9 times out of 10, the athletes are gaining over the week. We're here every day. There's consistency. Weekend happens. Only 2 days on the weekend, and then the weight drops back down.
Yeah.
So we're constantly ebbing and flowing all the time. And then by the end of the summer, you're breaking even. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I love hearing that. And what are you meal prepping? Are you meal prepping breakfast? Are you meal prepping lunch? Are you meal prepping dinner? All of it? Like, are you eating 3 meals? Is it 6 meals? Like, what does that look like?
So kind of what I did during the school year, over the summer, it's a little bit harder because obviously, I'm out of town all the time. So like this week, you have to eat out all the time, but during the school year, what I would do is I would meal prep 4 breakfasts and 4 lunches every single week. Whether that was maybe in overnight oats, or I had like this cool protein French toast recipe, or then for lunch usually it was like ground beef, eggs, rice, like a little bowl type of thing. But then usually what I would do is I would have breakfast, lunch, and then right before I went to practice, I would have maybe like something with carbs, like kind of give me some energy right before I go practice or work out or whatever. Maybe it was a protein smoothie, or maybe it was a bagel, peanut butter, and some yogurt, something along that line. And then after practice, I would have my big meal, like big dinner, steak, chicken, shrimp, fajitas, like anything that has a lot of protein and is gonna refuel me for the next day is kind of what I do. And then every once in a while, I'd have like another late night snack, whether it be love Greek yogurt, so like something like that would be what I do. So like I would mix the Greek yogurt with some protein powder.
So where would you say protein shakes fall into that? Are you meal prepping a protein shake?
No.
I guess what I'm trying to tee this up for is like you talked about food the whole time,
Yeah.
not protein shakes. Why?
So real food, like I mean, protein shakes are good. Like obviously, like they're easy, they're simple to get, some protein, some calories in. But I think like steak, eggs, chicken, like real whole foods is really where you're gonna see most of your results. Like, I mean, it's super easy and it tastes good. Like I don't know why people go eat these fast food like Chick-fil-A every time, because honestly, like go make your own chicken. I promise you, it tastes just as good. Maybe get some low calorie sauce. It doesn't matter, but it's gonna be way less of the processed crap that all these companies put in their food, and it's gonna taste just as good or better. I think better.
I love hearing that because I mean, I think protein shakes a lot of times are cop outs to like having a terrible diet.
Yeah.
And it's like those should complement what you're already eating. That's your fuel, that's your staple. And then if we want to try to get on the gain train and like add another 250 calories, I can have that protein shake.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of athletes look at protein shake, oh, I'm kind of eating normal and I had a protein shake today. It's like, well, yeah, like let's increase your intake anyways from a food perspective, and that's going to be your best fuel. And then you can have these RTDs or ready to drink protein shakes on top of it instead of to take place. I think a lot of times it takes place of an actual meal that they would have eaten. And so you're actually reducing your caloric intake because of that, and that's kind of filling yourself up with a protein shake. So
for sure.
I love hearing that. I mean, obviously it's worked out for you because you look great. You gained it the right way. All your numbers are down from speed, up in body weight, up in power production. So like, I think that's phenomenal. I need you to go back to this cinnamon. What'd you say? Cinnamon toast French?
Cinnamon, or it's a French toast casserole.
French toast casserole. Let's go. How you do it?
So I found this dude. I couldn't tell you his name, but I get a lot of recipes from him. It's like a crap ton
Tell
of
me,
eggs.
is that like the carnivore connoisseur guy?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's like a normal dude. His kids play basketball. He's like big he's like a nutritionist, and he has like his own company for it, whatever.
Okay.
But so it's like a crap ton of eggs, and then I just get like bread, a bunch of milk, cinnamon, and maybe I'll put in some protein powder in the little mix, and it's like tastes really good. Maybe I'll throw in some syrup
bread,
on it.
do you like just crumble up the bread?
Yeah, it's like a twist, or like he'll like cut it into pieces and then like twist it around. It's like a casserole kind of. It's really good, and you can make like icing with it.
You throw it into a casserole dish, throw it in the oven.
It's like this big, and
you're ready to roll.
Yeah, feeds at least 4 or 5. Sometimes my sister will have it for breakfast. Like,
need that, coach.
It's good.
Dude,
I need that.
I had 3 powdered donuts and Celsius for breakfast today.
See,
I need to hop on that French toast.
No, it's good.
Wilkes, this is for you, man. 3 powdered donuts and a Celsius.
Bro, I have a baby, bro. I didn't have time to make breakfast.
I got 4 babies, okay?
But you're performance
Got it.
coach. I'm a fucking video guy. Like,
gotta do it on Sundays. I do it every Sunday.
Coach, you have there, and that's the.
I need to hop in.
Honestly, time out though. Honestly, that's the. I don't have time. Everybody's got time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in the day.
I agree with you. I'm not in the mindset that he is. Like, I'm not like.
Coach, lock in, Wilkes.
I need to lock in, bro. My wife keeps saying you need to lock in.
Lock in.
I need to lock in. She has fast metabolism. Where the hell she
Oh,
goes.
metabolism. That's the best one.
Right.
The metabolism. I got a fast metabolism. I've been eating 4,000 calories of fast metabolism.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I thought that I ate a lot. Like I thought I
Yeah.
was in that boat. Like, oh, I just have fast metabolism. Like I just burn it off. And I thought I ate a lot. And then I go to my buddy's house, Clay Jones, who was at Bibb County. I was at Taylorville, Hillcrest. We went to Shelton together. We were roommates. Clay Jones was our starting first baseman at Shelton, and the same thing whenever I played with him in Alabama. and his brother, Ben Jones, offensive lineman for Georgia, and then went on to play 10 plus years in the league. We're like really, really close today. So I go over to their house, they're in high school, and one, like, they have a squat rack like upstairs. I'm like, why is the squat rack upstairs? Because this joker's lifting like 600 pounds back squat as a sophomore in high school, like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just a tank. He's incredible. But like I go eat dinner with him, and there's like 3 casserole dishes out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. This is like my mom does the same thing. Like we're eating casserole. And like I look up at the end of it, I've had like 1.5 helpings. Like I'm crushing food around these big dudes. Like I got a plate and a half, and they're like finishing up a whole dish, like the whole casserole dish. I'm like, all right. So my whole like diagram of nutrition, or like what I thought was a lot, was not a lot.
Especially like, I mean, the way I view it, like I've been starting to work out with a couple of my friends, and like, you know, I would hate for them to like, you know, put in all this effort of like you're working out every day, but you're eating like crap, and you're never gonna see the results you want to see if you don't eat. And it's like, why would you go and spend all this time and effort into working out, which is the hard part, when all you got to do is just eat more food? It's like crazy. And then like, especially if you play multiple sports, like, I mean, I play baseball, football, like I'm burning a lot of calories every day, and like you have got to eat to maintain that, or it's not going to be good.
I look at it like this. I think you're honoring your past self. Like you're honoring the work that you put in this morning or yesterday or the past week by the food choices that you make today. And then you're also honoring the work that you're about to put in. Like your future self is going to be really happy about the calories that you put in, for whether I'm trying to get after it in this workout, I just don't have the energy because I didn't eat right, or like I'm trying to get to this weight gain milestone by Christmas break or whatever that I just can't get to if I'm not consistent with today. So I think to me it's an honor thing of like what I've done previously and what I'm gonna do in the future, and like that plan that I have mapped out. Because if I become inconsistent, like you're saying, you don't have any baseline to have an understanding for like where you're at.
Yeah.
So talking about the process, and we've talked to some other guys on this podcast too, of like there's sacrifices that are made from travel ball, from rec ball, from football, baseball. You're a 2-sport athlete at a high classification high school here in Alabama, Birmingham metro area. And where does, like, when you think about, when I say what sacrifices have you made, like what comes to mind?
So the first thing that comes to mind is obviously like, you know, my parents and my family, what they've done for me. You know, the last 2, this summer's not that bad, but the last 2 summers, like me and my mom have probably been gone from the rest of my family for a month and a half. Like I remember July last year, I think I slept in my bed twice in the whole month of July.
2 times.
2 times. So it's like kind of that sacrifice of like driving. I mean, my mom's spending all this time, like she's not with my other siblings, like kind of sacrificing.
You have how many siblings?
2. Got a brother and a sister. And my dad is always taking care of them while we're gone. So like them sacrificing all that they've done is kind of the big thing that comes to mind. And then for me, like sacrifices that I guess I've had to make, the first thing I think of is basketball. Like I had to quit basketball going into high school. Like at the end of the day, like basketball's, I mean, probably the most fun sport, I'm gonna be honest. Like it's constant, your constant movement. Like, you know, who doesn't want to go knock down a 3 or go lock somebody up in a game? Like, and all my best friends played. It was best times I've ever had. But at the end of the day, like it's too much on your body. Like if you want to really be successful and, you know, maybe go play in college or maybe play after college, like it's just your body, it only has so much in you. And like if you're doing all that, like you're just not, I mean, maybe some people can do it. I'm not one of them. I had to quit it, and it sucks because I loved it and it was super fun, but it's just a sacrifice you got to make, you know, to get where I am, I guess, today and where I want to be. So those are 2 things.
How did you make that decision? So you're committed to Auburn.
Yep.
For baseball, not 2-sport.
No,
just
both.
baseball.
Yeah.
So how do you have those conversations? Because I'm assuming there's a little bit of a conversation about what the future could look like in football.
Yeah.
You've closed the door to basketball. Baseball is obviously a thing. Like, how does that work out?
So going into high school, I kind of decided, so basketball runs into baseball season. So like if the basketball team were to make the state championship, I would not be back on the baseball team until like halfway through the season.
Yep.
And I was like, that's just not what I want to do. Like I want to be there full season. I want to, that's my main sport. Like I should be there for the whole thing. And that's kind of the main reason why I decided to quit basketball. Was just it just ran into too much and it would speed stress my body. Then I decided to keep playing football because you have about 2 or 3 months in between where you can like really reset, get back into baseball mode. Like that's kind of why I kept playing football, and it's really fun. I like it, and it's good for your body. Like you're lifting, you're running all the time. It's good for you. So it's kind of why I kept playing football. And I've really grown. Like if you'd have told me I would have liked football as much 3 years ago, I would have told you you're lying. Like I never really loved it until probably like the last 2 years. Like it's been super fun. Like we were good. It was a really good time. I love the coaches on the staff, and it's just super fun. So that's kind of why I kept playing football.
That helps. That helps when you're good. Ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Nothing like going to football practice and get beat up all the time, and then
I don't know how they do it.
Can't win. You can't win on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Did you have any offers for football?
No, I did not. I'm sure maybe if I was always committed to Auburn since for a year, so it's kind of like the big recruiting time for football is like that junior year. Maybe if I wasn't, maybe I could have gotten some, but I'm not that good. I'm okay at it, but I'm not no crazy football player.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah, I was too. Don't worry.
That's what I'm talking about. So what if you were to talk to your former self? Like this is a 2-point question, but like if you were to talk to your 12-year-old self, like what would you do different? What would you tell them or encourage them with? And then also like I guess feeding from that into what do you hope and desire out of your like future resume? What does the next 5 to 10 years look like? Let's just say 5, because 5 would get you into college, and or if there's another decision that could happen with a draft or something like that. But like from the past side, like travel ball, work ethic, the time you're putting in right now to build a foundation, and then all the way to like future 5.
So the things that I would probably say to my past self would be like, really, I wish I started eating better sooner because I really focused on the eating side just last year.
You talked about the cookies. You were a sweets guy.
Oh yeah, I would eat some crumb cookie. I would tear up some crumb cookie.
But were you underweight?
No.
So you just
I was not underweight, but I wasn't. It was like a little I guess chubby would be the word. Not chubby, but like not like
baby fat.
Yeah, like baby fat.
Skinny fat.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like that. Like I was never like overweight, but I was never underweight. Like in that medium, but I didn't have muscle on me.
Yeah.
So like I would go, splurge on some cookies or something like that. So definitely the eating side is one thing, and then the other thing would be like the mental side. Like this is probably the first year where I've I'm still not great at it. Like I'll still get pissed when I don't have the game I want to be at, but like this is the first time like I've been able to like kind of relax. Like if I go 0 for 3 with a couple Ks, like I'm gonna be pissed, but I'm not gonna show it. Like I'm not gonna throw my helmet. I'm not gonna go home and be all pissed at my parents or my brother just because I had a bad game. Like kind of understand like you're at the age where you can't do that anymore. Like it's a game of failure. You gotta understand like it's gonna happen. So if I wish I would have done that sooner, and I feel like I'd be better at it than where I am now. And I just want to keep kind of getting better at the men's side. Like kind of being competitive. Like being competitive is huge, but understanding like you're gonna get out, like, and kind of going into every at bat with a fresh mindset, every game with a fresh mindset has been, I think, very helpful.
That's incredible, dude. I wish that I had more like mental coaching whenever I was coming up, because I got a little hot-headed, and it just took you. You felt like it was the end of the world on all that. It's like, no, dude, like, calm down. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. You're gonna have another at bat. And we'll go out there and dominate that. And I'd carry at bats into the next one and all that kind of stuff.
I was a big helmet thrower. I would go out into the field and probably yell at myself for getting out. So not doing that anymore.
I literally could see myself, and they had a kid in here training the other day, had stitches in his eyebrow. I was like, dude, what happened to you? He's like, threw my helmet. I was like, oh, tell me about that. He was like, yeah, I learned a pretty good lesson. Yeah. I was like, I kind of reminds me of myself whenever I was at that age. But your future self, what does that look like? What do you hope to? What do your dreams look like? What do you want to have achieved in the next 5?
I'm going to Auburn as of right now. Obviously the draft would be next year, and that's kind of something that we've been thinking about. I think I have the ability to maybe get drafted or that type of thing, but I really got to go prove it. Next year I feel like I started a little bit better this year. I had a decent year, but again, I think I'm better than what I've maybe put out. I really think I have it in me. So kind of really just over this next off season, you know, with y'all and, you know, hitting and all that, just really getting after it. Like I really think I could be a good player. So thinking about that, and if not, all good. You know, I'm really happy with where I'm going to Auburn. Like love the coaching staff. I mean, I think I can really go try to make an impact, you know, soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
So really kind of get after it down there. And, you know, big thing is like this year is like, you don't want to look at it as like it doesn't matter, because it does. Like it's junior, like, you know, you got to go perform and compete. But I really want this year to kind of prepare me for what's going to happen, you know, maybe in college or after. So hopefully, you know, go have a good career at Auburn, or maybe even get drafted. So that's
come on, dude. That's an elite mindset. I love hearing that, because it just, you have the right things in line. I feel like your perspective is right. And I just wanted to honor you on, like, dude, your work ethic is uncanny. Like, you get after it every time you come in. You're looking for the nuances. I tell athletes all the time, like, allow us to coach the details. Like, you handle the commitment, you handle the consistency and the discipline, because that's an identity issue most of the time. But if you're handling that, now we can coach the shin angle of your sprints. We can coach how you're projecting out, the position of your head as we're sprinting, like all those different things to hopefully reduce the time on a sprint. Maybe beat out a bang play at second base that could take you to the next level, or win a state championship game, because hopefully you're there again and you can play, you don't get hit in the eye. But just, you're well-spoken, man. You have a great head on your shoulders, and that's a respect to you and your family and upbringing. I know you have a lot of guys to lean on inside your family that have played at an elite level, so that's incredible.
Yep.
But just, I mean, just keep going, dude. You're doing an incredible job right now. You've seen benefits in what you're doing from a nutrition side, from a work ethic standpoint. I'm just glad that you've been a part of it and proud of you, because it's not easy, and it sometimes feels that way because it's just like what you do.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to honor you and the work ethic you put in, because it's like these accolades that you have are not just by chance. I mean, yes, you came in with skill, but you also put your head down and you come in to work, and you're super consistent. So thank you to that, really, for your future self. Again, honoring that future self for who you're going to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years and 50 years. Because, like, the mindset that you have right now, which again is far beyond your years, is going to take you so far in life, because you're going to get hit with obstacles. You're going to get hit with situations. You're going to get hit with things that are harder than just getting hit in the eye before a state championship game. As hard as that is right now, and that's like kind of what you're shooting for in your life. Like, things are going to happen throughout your life that'll have a bigger impact and have a bigger ripple effect in that. And you're getting prepared for life. And you've done a great job so far of combating those obstacles, because, like I said in the last podcast, there's no growth without an obstacle. Whether that obstacle is weight in your hands, like you got to lift and get it up, or an obstacle in life. So I wanted to honor that with you sitting over here in this podcast and say it in front of your face. So
all right. Good. Thank you, man. It's been fun.
Come on, dude.
Thank you.
Let's go. Heck
all right.
Man. Come on. Thank you for listening to One Way to Find Out. If this episode challenged you, encouraged you, or gave you some nuggets to take with you moving forward, please like, subscribe, share it with anybody that you feel like would need to hear this. Every like, subscription, every share helps us reach and impact more athletes, more coaches, leaders, parents, really anyone striving to become the best version of themselves. Keep the faith, embrace the grind, and leave a legacy that outlives you. And remember, there's only one way to find out.